How much?
200.
Okay, define 200.
What?
No, you made a claim. I'm asking you to substantiate the underlying premise.
Are you buying or not?
That's not an answer. You're dodging the question! You lick sniz!
Come on, Andrew, you can't even open a jar of fucking pickles?
It's a jar of olives, Rachel.
Just fucking open it. What is wrong with you?
Will you shut the fuck up? It's olives. It's been olives the whole time. Why does nobody in this house listen to me?
You weak sack of shit! You're weakest of all three men I have been married to, Andrew. Fuck you! Fuck you! Fuck you!
You lick sniz!
You Fuck you! Fuck you! Fuck you!
Charlie responded with this. Okay, great. Remind them that they are there for one person's security only, because I'm somewhat worried the left is trying to kill me. That was a message sent September 9th.
But he was not messaging people the day before saying, I'm going to be murdered. They're coming after me. Someone's going to kill me. He didn't say that. And I have his cell phone.
Yo, so we back in here for another edition of F-ya-Motha, and that was Andrew Wilson of the Whatever podcast, or at least he features on there. Him with that doofus Brian. Now I'm not gonna knock what they do too hard, because they got valid points. The only reason I don't watch that shit and they claim to be red pill is because they bring a whole bunch of dim-witted bubbleheads on the show, and I mean, you don't like those type of women. It makes no sense to actually interview them to, like, yeah, he makes them look stupid, but that's a given. They are, right? But my whole thing is, and I'm not knocking that, because there are a whole bunch of 304s out there that's kind of dim-witted, but to bring them on the show to showcase their idiocracy is pointless. I got friends that ask me, why don't I do podcast episodes where I bash women, you know what I'm saying, for the stuff that they do is say. And the reason is, you like what you like. If a person is not intelligent, it makes no sense to bring them on the show just to kind of make them showcase their stupidity, right? You know they're not bright, so it's kind of like a moot point. It makes no sense. I don't do it because you like what you like. If you don't like women that are 304s, feminists, or whatnot, you don't bring them on the show. Not to mention this nigga, and I've gathered intel on this nigga. He's married to a woman that has 3 kids from previous relationships, but he badmouths women that have high body counts, that have previous kids from previous relationships, and it's just like, it's stupid. It literally makes no sense. The fact that you, like, it's almost like you're scorned that those type of women when you were younger didn't choose up on you, and then they ended up with kids, and now you got a platform where you trash them. Is dumb, right? So his whole thing is he's supposed to be right wing, have all these what am I saying? He has all these like morals and traditional values that he feels that women should have, and he's not even living by that, right? This dude is like trailer trash, meth head, baby mama gathering, chain smoking dude. And I smoke cigarettes, but I don't chain smoke, right? Not only that, dude's, he's a worm. He got called out by that Wes Watson dude, and he didn't have no smoke for dude. But then he gets women on the show and he badmouths them, and it's just like, bro, you're soft. You're soft as baby shit. You want to badmouth women because you have disdain for them, yet you are married to a woman that is a baby mama, right? So it's almost like it's contradictory, hypocrisy at its finest. But that's not what this episode is about. I actually watched this debate via the Marquette Devon Burton show, and he showcased an hour of 40 minutes of the episode, right? So the dude literally got trashed by Candice Owens, and people that follow me, y'all know I don't really like Candice Owens. She's right a bootlick if I ever saw one. She badmouths black people, claims there's no systemic racism, when she actually had a lawsuit against some white folks for racism. Fast forward 16 years later, now she's on the train, and she was friends with Charlie Kirk, talking about there's no racism and black people are just hollering foul. And so y'all know I don't like her. So the fact that this nigga, and I can admit that he got washed by her, speaks volumes, right? I watched the whole thing. Every time she brought up a valid point, he deflected. He tried to say that her points weren't valid, and as y'all seen in that clip, he said that he had text messages. The ex-wife the widow doesn't have any text messages allegedly from anybody. She says she got his phone, so he's a liar, right? So he got washed thoroughly. That's basically all I got on that. He went on to say that the rifle, while it didn't have clear fingerprints of Tyler Robinson, the dude that allegedly gunned down Charlie Kirk, that happens, right? Fingerprints can depreciate. He claimed that the bullet casing or shell that was found in Charlie Kirk's neck affirmatively came from the rifle, which Candice Owens pointed out that they didn't substantiate that wasn't the case. There was a projectile that hit Charlie Kirk, but they can't substantiate that the projectile came from that rifle. He also goes on to say that he was identified, to which the boyfriend of Tyler Robinson seen stills of him from, I guess, whatever cameras that was on the college campus. He couldn't identify the dude, and if you in a relationship with somebody, surely you can identify them from footage. He couldn't. He also goes on to say that the government affirmatively proved or has proven that Tyler Robinson was the shooter. That hasn't been substantiated. He also, in the course of the debate, was saying that because Tyler Robinson had on allegedly the same shoes as the shooter, that he had to be the person that was the shooter. And I think Candice Owens actually substantiated that just because a person wears the same type of tennis shoes doesn't mean that they were actually the shooter. You're on college campuses. Plenty of people could have the same tennis shoes. That doesn't substantiate that you were the shooter. She believes that it was Israel behind it and our government. Me personally, I kind of feel like the government used that as a ploy in their agenda to actually propagate him as some type of white nationalist, quote unquote, savior. And they used it as a political fiasco just to kind of like push the right wing's narrative about making America great and yada yada yada. And I guess, what am I trying to say? Basically using it to actually like affirm that their right wing beliefs in joining the war with Israel, when Charlie Kirk had actually said allegedly through text messages to Candice Owens that he felt like him turning his back or not supporting Israel would be his demise. Now, me personally, I think Charlie Kirk was a scumbag, so I don't really care. I don't think he should have been gunned down, but you know what I'm saying, if you speak ill of my people, while I don't want nothing bad to happen to you, necessarily. If something does, hey, somebody got you the fuck out of here, right? It alleviates my issue with you. Once again, I don't condone like what happened to him, because I'm a podcaster. I wouldn't want nobody to take me out to some shit because of some shit that I said. So in that aspect, I like, that's my stance with that, and I haven't deviated. I'm like Batman. Like, I don't have to save you, or I don't have to do nothing to you, but I don't got to save you either. But she washed him a lot, and that says a lot, because I don't, like I've said, I don't like Candice Owens, but the fact that she actually like stood her ground. He tried to psych her out, use psychological tactics to kind of throw her off and get her flustered, which he did a couple times. But just because you get somebody flustered in a debate doesn't mean you actually won. You just tried to deflect, fluster the person, get him distracted, but you didn't prove a point, which his whole point was that affirmatively that Tyler Robinson was the shooter. And I watched the whole debate, or at least an hour and 40 minutes of it. He didn't substantiate that. Anybody that believes the American government, though, is a jackass, especially Trump's administration. I'm gonna just put that out there. So yeah, this is just my commentary on that. This is how I feel about that. I would have probably never watched the debate, but I was listening to Marquette's podcast, and like he showcased it, and from what I witnessed, oh boy didn't substantiate the American government's claim that Tyler Robinson was the shooter. He looked plenty stupid. She was outwitting him. She was proving her points affirmatively, and he wasn't actually rebutting with anything that like disproved what she was saying. He just was saying, every time she called him in like in a gotcha moment, he would say, well, I didn't say that. And we watched it. Like, I literally watched the hour and 40 minutes of it. He actually did. You can actually go back. A couple times I had to go back and rewind it, and I was just like, yo, he did say that. So the fact that he's backpedaling, saying he didn't say exactly that when she proved he did say that, shows that he's a liar. Not to mention, this dude said, or at least told his wife, that he was a sniper in the army. He wasn't. He claims that he served in the military very, 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 very briefly. Those are his words, not mine. If a dude is lying about him serving in the military, you can't really take anything that he say for face value, because he's a liar. So everything he said in the debate, when she proved that he said it, and him backpedaling just proved that he was a liar, he had no leg to stand on, she won it outright. And the fact that he paid $300,000 to debate her also, like, basically shows what type of he's not that smart. While he brings women on the whatever podcast to make them look like the bubbleheads they are, he's not too far from being a bubblehead. So that's why I don't rock with the red pill, because they incessantly try to make the women look stupid, and they're not that bright. Not only that, they're dweebs. They didn't get girls when they were younger. So I don't really I don't admire dudes that shit on women on their podcast. But about 20 years ago, you wasn't bagging chicks. You know what I'm saying? 19, he's like in his 50s. I want to say he's about 50, somewhere between 48 to 53. So we'll say circa 1995. He may have been about 23, 25. He wasn't bagging women anyways. So yeah, this guy's a moron, and this is why I don't follow these red pill dudes. This is why I don't cover red pill issues, because I don't have a problem with women to the point like that. Like, yes, women piss me off from time to time. I just move on with life. I don't dwell on shit. And the women that piss me off, those aren't the type of women I'm trying to bag. So it makes me know, never mind. I spotted a woman that's unagreeable or difficult, can't take correction, I move on. I don't try to put a round peg into a square hole. In any event, I think I might have said that backwards, but you get the drift. In any event, if y'all like this episode, you know what to do, and I'm out.
No one's ready to deal with us.